Alright guys, so we had a little bit of an issue with the internet connection, so we're going to basically pick off where we are. Obviously, people know me, Nate the Effing Great, joined here by Sarah and Evan. We're talking about Wonder Woman, continuing our review. We left off talking about the missed, I think we were talking about like the
story aspects.
Yes, story aspects. Mainly talk about some of the missing goddesses that were there. You were talking about some of the
my biggest problem was not some things story wise, but more the filmmaking aspect, acting aspect was where I found my biggest flaws in the film.
Okay, well let's address that then next. What was
so my first one? Might give me some heat, but Gal Gadot, I think she looks exactly what she needs to look like for Wonder Woman, but I think she needs to improve her acting a little bit, because when she comes up to some of the bigger actors, she kind of she's not horrible. Like, I've seen worse, but I feel like there's so much more that she can give. Because like some of her crying scenes, I'm just like she needs to I saw her a little bit. I think she was in Fast and Furious or whatever. She's definitely improved her acting skills, but she's not to that level where she's in an A movie. This is A ranked stuff, and she's sometimes falls a little flat when Chris Pine comes onto the movie. I can't remember the actress that plays her mother. I can't remember that. I'm trying to think of the actress name. I've heard it once before. But when she gets up to these big name actors, she doesn't feel as strong. I don't know, because it kind of falls flat a little bit. Like, I don't know if it's her accent or the way that she's articulating and something like that, because it sounds like almost to me like she's trying to sound American, but keeping her accent while trying to do like a British vocabulary kind of thing. Like, it's very strong, powerful words, but spoken in a way and delivered in a way that doesn't come off as well as like Chris Pine does when he's speaking, especially when Chris Pine does German accent. I thought that was great, because like it shows he knows stuff that maybe she doesn't. Maybe that's just because lack of experience. But I do think she's perfect casting choice. There might be a better actor choice, but as appearance choice, she is perfect. She like looks what I would think Wonder Woman would look like on the big screen. That's my opinion. Maybe yes, I did, because I see you give me a look. Because I think she does kind of look like what I would think. But then again, Wonder Woman's not my favorite superhero, but
I think she was a great choice. I love the work that she's doing. I'm not an actress, but I did actually dig the accent, because Amazons are tied to Greek mythology, so she
I like how everybody
adjusted
to her accent more than her trying to make one up and then like change it up.
The thing that I would have changed is not something that could have been changed in her. It would have had to be recasting. I love her. I really do. Like, I was geeked about her. She's really awesome.
Good. I'm on board with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Stunning. She's killing it. On the other hand, I do not think that she was big enough.
Okay.
Like, physically big enough.
Okay.
The reason why is because, for me, an Amazon is 6 foot at least. An Amazon is huge. When you see her next to Wonder Woman, next to Superman, it should be at least eye to eye. She should not be shorter. And that's just me though. That's a personal preference, and that's the fangirl in me. But as far as Gal Gadot goes, I do love her. Yeah. I really do. I'm not. There's not too much that I would say that's wrong with her as a choice. I just wish she was bigger. Like, I would have casted a bigger actress.
It's again going to a different, perspective and try to change up, some of the things. Obviously, you're used to more her being Amazon, her being taller, her being muscular. I'm like a lot of other people. I didn't see too much of an issue with it. When they were basically talking about who was every single front row access, we're heavily promoting Wonder Woman. They kind of showed like some of the classic. It's hard to really think when. Up and down here.
I lost you every once in a while with what you were saying, but I got the gist of it.
It's not like that, Ricardo, because my voice is still.
No, it's alright.
But
it's really loud.
But yeah, just looking at how the original Wonder Woman looked in like the first TV series, she didn't look, she definitely looked very tall. The original Wonder Woman looked very
Linda
tall.
Carter.
Yes, Linda Carter.
Yes.
But I didn't see her too muscular. I think she looked a little bit, skinnier than I would think. More like Gil Bowman, looks now. So it's one of those things where it's like, I look back at that, I don't see too much of an issue with it. I think the main issue that I would have with it is, she has to represent, Wonder Woman proudly, and that's always the main issue. Is that whenever you're playing a certain role, you have to try to either be that person or try to be better than the person that came before you. Like, obviously, in the case of Batman, they've changed it so many times. First it was Adam West, then it was Michael Keaton, then you have Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, and now Ben Affleck. To where, obviously a lot of them try to, one up each other. Where, Adam West to Michael Keaton is always debatable. I mean, a lot of us have had the debate, Adam West is the best, Michael Keaton's the best. From Michael Keaton to Val Kilmer, did he do better than Michael Keaton? He did. Okay, he did relatively okay. Then, from Val Kilmer to George Clooney, well, we all know how that turned out. We don't need to go into that one. Christian Bale, we all know that's basically in a class of his own. He played the Batman very well.
I thought he was a better Bruce Wayne than Batman.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to not trying to get too far away from one with the quick tangent, in my personal opinion, I believe Ben Affleck's the best on-screen Batman ever, because I think he does that Arkham Asylum video game-esque Batman where he's a big, tough dude. He's the first one I've seen that plays Bruce Wayne and Batman perfectly, where a lot of guys get one or the other correct. And in terms of the original Wonder Woman to now, it was such a it's a big gap between the show and the movie. But from what I remember, I've seen the Wonder Woman show a couple episodes. I think it's been a long time, but from what I can tell, what I based it off is what the comics and games are like, and it seems to be pretty much on par with what I personify these characters to be. Especially with Henry Cavill as Superman, he looks like he's perfect for Superman. He does really well as Superman, and that's who he needs to be. With Ezra Miller as the Flash, he looks like he's going to do wonders. And Jason Momoa as Aquaman is just pitch perfect. Oh god, Aquaman's getting the credit he deserves because Aquaman's a cool character.
Yeah, but I think the point I'm trying to get at is that obviously with Batman he has all that opportunity for it to grow, for another character to do that, or another actor I should say, to do that. I think in the case of Wonder Woman, really Linda Carter and Gal Gadot are like the only two women that I can really recall that played Wonder Woman. I mean, there's very few.
Isn't that problematic? DC has three most important characters. Yeah. They're Trinity. How many Superman revisions have we seen? Like cartoons and TV shows and movies. How many freaking Batman ones have we seen? Now, how many Wonder Woman ones have we seen?
It's very, very limited.
And that is why we want to give it so much credit. It was great. It was a freaking great movie. It was so good. But the reason why we were crying as women seeing it, brought to tears at how freaking awesome it was, and not critical at all, was because it is the only time that we have ever seen it. And that's not right.
It is.
I mean, in this modern era of superhero movies, isn't this one of the first female-led superhero movies? Because Marvel has not done one. They're doing Captain Marvel, but Captain Marvel didn't come out yet. And they have Black Widow. They have all these people, but DC is the first one to put a female superhero movie.
That was the thing. Is that everybody's been heavily promoting for Black Widow to get her own solo movie, and some people might say her story is basically within a lot of these other movies like Iron Man 2.
She's more of a better with the team. Her side stories, there's not too many Black Widow villains. Batman has Joker, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze. Black Widow doesn't have even compared to some of the other ones. Shazam has a lot of better villains than Black Widow does. Because she's a spy. It's one of those things that she's better with the team than she is by herself. Same thing with Hawkeye. Better with a team, not with solo.
But again, to the point of isn't it worth still taking that risk of just trying to see what you can find with Black Widow? Because some people might say she's not as much important. But imagine what she could be if you actually looked more in depth with her character, her background. Because there's obviously more to her than meets the eye. And Scarlett Johansson, oh my gosh, does a phenomenal job.
That's why I'm excited for the Joss Whedon Batgirl movie, because that's something that could be really
Oh my god,
Really
I cannot wait.
But yeah, again,
Yeah.
to your point, the fact that there's, I mean, not even just superhero movies. There's so limited, movies that have that female, main role. I mean,
That's what I like about the Star Wars movies. Just that female lead.
Just recently, you mentioned Star Wars. I mean, two that I definitely could name are Hidden Figures, The Help. Finally, we're getting more roles.
I do want to mention, like, very, very specifically, like, this really is a call out to DC. Why has there not been a Wonder Woman before this? The reason I want to call it out so specifically is that DC, I would argue even more so than Marvel, has a problem with thinking that a female can carry a story. I don't like the word female. Screw the word female. That a woman can carry the story. Side note, I think when you use female, it's kind of like almost depersonifying, because we don't call men males.
Yeah.
We call them men. And you know what I mean? We shouldn't use girl, we should use female. A woman. A woman can carry a story.
So if you're out, female is out, women is in.
Thank you. So, what I'm going to say though...
I'm just going to call it the Sarah Wolf from now on.
I see merchandise all the time.
Yeah.
That is the Justice League minus her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Justice League minus Hawk Girl or something, that makes sense because sometimes she's there, sometimes she's not.
And not many
but
people know
the
about her.
three most important characters to DC are, let's repeat after me, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
The Trinity, yeah.
Thank you, the Trinity. So there should never be a time where she's purposefully removed, because how could a female cell to myth? That's stupid. That's stupid. That's such stupid thought. You know what I mean? So like DC, you gotta step up. You gotta step up. This was such
They can say all along that it's like Batman does make money, but Wonder Woman has shown that in 2 days can make a ton of money off her movie as well.
This was such a good step for them.
Yeah.
And now that I've said some critical things, I do want to sing some praise, because as much as I want to be critical of this, because the fangirl in me is critical, because this is my character and you do not disrespect her, you do not mess her up. But the fangirl in me also cried tears of joy that night, and here's where it came from. I got to see, the guys I went to see the movie with understand and respect how much I loved this character for the first time, because it was the first time they got to see her in action.
Yeah.
And
I've been a fan of her, so it was kind of awesome to finally see her on the big screen. So it's like such a cool character.
And I got to see the little girls that were in the theater with me light up.
And that's one of the things about going with the Ben Affleck or whoever your Batman is for guys, and for women that they're gonna grow up with Gal Gadot as their Wonder Woman.
They're gonna grow
and
up
it's gonna
with
be great
a
for
Wonder
them.
Woman.
It's like for us at Con, like we go over there's Eric Stewart's over there. That's the voice of our childhood over there. I mean, my child, probably yours guys as well.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to grow up with it, and it would be great. And I think part of that goes to a little bit credit to Suicide Squad, whether you loved or hated that movie, is Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, showing that they're going to make a solo movie with her, with the sirens and all that, kind of show DC that they can make women characters work, and they're going to make it build off that, make it bigger movie. That's why there's going to be the Batgirl movie, there's going to be the sirens, there's going to be another Wonder Woman, there's going to be Justice League, and they do all this stuff.
A really important point that I'll make, I teach kids. I teach kids from age 3 to age 14. And my kids, the boys understand that they can be anything. They could be the bad guy, they could be the good guy, they could be anything in between. Because, we play. We're at recess, we play pretend, we do all these things. The girls, on the other hand, they aspire to be the damsel in distress. And that's messed up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just what they've seen. I don't think people understand that culture and entertainment are so tied together and shape people so much. So I am so excited for the next group of girls. I am so excited for the next group of boys, because I think it affects them almost equally to see such a powerful woman, and nothing was taken away from the appeal of the movie that she was a woman. You know what I mean? It was just a fact. Like, she's a woman, it makes up who she is, and also watch this really badass fight scene. The choreo was sick, the stunts were sick, The special effects were sick. It was sick, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting that you like say that because I never really, I guess where I grew up in small town was thinking. I have a younger sister, and she never went for that. She's a hockey goalie. She's the person that takes the pucks to the face. So I never really had that experience of like the damsel in distress woman. But I have seen plenty of that. I knew, I kind of know what you mean by that. But it's interesting.
Yeah.
I think what I also really do respect about Gail is that a lot of people have made a lot of reports saying whether they're true or not. Makes me respect her a lot more as Wonder Woman. The fact that while she was doing this, she was 5 months pregnant. She was doing these stunts while she was with child.
Wow.
And this year, this year, she had a beautiful baby girl. And it's one of those things where I think it just gives that extra motivation. Where
So now she's Hippolyta. Yeah. So she needed that in the world.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I look forward to when it comes out on Blu-ray or it comes out on DVD, and Gail can just sit down with her daughters and show this.
Yeah.
Not only she could maybe say the bragging rights of like, hey, just remember the fact that you were in my tummy when I was doing this movie. She make that. I mean, it's a little cheesy brag, right? But at the same time, just shows that again, she could say, this is something that mommy did. That was be a part of history, be a part of something different, be a part of something that is revolutionary. Because when Wonder Woman first came out, so many people.
If you go back and read some of her early stuff, it seemed like every comic she was tied up in some situation, being held down by some guy. It's too cool to see the evolution. Like I've read a lot of the evolution of Wonder Woman. It's come a long way.
I will say this, and also one of the things that they definitely hit on with the preview to Wonder Woman is that basically the creator gave her the combat skills and the superpowers, and then of course one day later, the lawyer and her parents, they were kind of worried that she was too strong, and they somehow tied in lesbianism with that, which really disappointed me. And that's why, to your point when you brought up the whole thing, relationship between her and Steve, that they were so seemingly heavily set on that, and that's what I think that's where that comes from. But I think what the narrator definitely said is like, but Diana Prince was able to persevere through it all, and she still has become a cultural phenomenon, which I agree. It's like you could try to take her down a peg, but that's only going to make her persevere and become something more, something stronger. Yes, you can give her the human traits. Yes, you can make her an independent woman, but you can make her something more. You can make her something absolutely phenomenal. You mentioned the Trinity. She is a part of something very special in that. Because, back then people are just like, a woman, 2 guys, and a woman, like that would never happen. But nowadays, it's one of those things where you look at it and think, wow, that is just awesome. That is one of those things that is just well respected. Because how many women can actually say that they're a part of Trinity? Very few.
I mean, and look who she's standing next to, man.
Exactly.
The Man of Steel and the Dark Knight. I mean, those two have been. Their
Look
history
at who
is just
they're standing next to.
And the opposite way, yes. I mean, it shows how much a badass she is, as much as like they're saying like this girl is the best woman. So.
I want to make one side note, and this is a little selfish, but Wonder Woman has so much to do with my story personally, because we all we had a child. Everyone had a childhood.
Exactly.
And
mine's over there silently.
I want to give a shout out to my mom, who is my personal Hippolyta, because I think that one of the things that's really important, and that I wish they had touched on more, is the Amazon history, where women come from. I think it's really metaphorical. Where women come from, this subservient place, and where they've had to go because of that history, to really standing on their own, and almost being jaded because of their past. Like, my mom has been through some terrible things, and she is one of the strongest women that you will ever have the pleasure of meeting. And she passed that on to me. And I see a lot of the same relationship in me and her, where I'm younger and a little more naive and full of love and full of hope. And she has been through so much that she wants to protect me and guide me, and she loves me that strongly. And so it's this relationship between Hippolyta and Diana that a lot of women and their daughters connect to. And when I have a daughter someday, it's going to be the same kind of passing on. Like, I'll have gone through my own histories, and I'll be able to pass that on to her. It's so metaphorical. And I think it's so important. And so hearing about Gal Gadot having a kid, that's beautiful. Like, I think that I'm sure Linda Carter in some ways has to feel at least some of the same way, where like everything as a woman is under scrutiny. Like, you have to be able to be feminine and strong, but also independent, but also depend on a man enough to make him feel special. There's this whole thing. And you wind up getting jaded at some point if you're not careful. But you also become very strong because of like your position in life. And getting to pass that on to the next generation and the next generation. A fun story, I won the Superman celebration in, I want to say 2014 or something. It's this con, thank you, in Metropolis, Illinois. And I was Wonder Woman, and I got up there and I did my whole women empowerment speech. And at the end, this little girl came up to me and talked to me about how this boy in her class was bullying her. And I gave her the same advice that my mom gave me. You are stronger than you know. It came back up. It's these lessons that need to be passed on, and it's so beautiful that they're being so widely shared now. If you are stronger than you think. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You will be whatever you want to be. You will be whatever you work to be. You know, like, I just, on top of everything else, whatever criticisms I have about a film, whatever criticisms I have about the way it was shot or the writing of it or whatever, overall, I am so glad and we are so blessed that the budget was spent, the work was spent, the energy was spent, that this story is getting told, because it is going to inspire so many generations of girls. And it's going to be remade again because of its success. And it's going to inspire all over again.
I thought it was women, not girls. I thought we were going to mix that separately.
Girls who will become women.
Fair enough.
Wonder Women of their own.
I got the young girls.
There was just a point where it was just like, Nate, shut up. She's doing inspiring.
And I was like, can I let her go?
Let her
I'm off my soapbox.
No,
Mom, I love you. You're perfect.
Hi, Sarah's mom.
I will say this, and hi, Sarah's mom. You created a very beautiful mother in yours. Honestly, that's one of the things I love about this movie is that so many other DC movies, it just felt like it's just kind of there. But the fact that you get something out of this
More
Wonder Woman movie,
glitz and glamour than depth.
yeah, it's really just amazing because it promotes some people could say feminism, but it proves that you could be a woman, you could still be independent.
Hey, Joe. Joe. Can you help her? Sorry, guys. We're at a con.
Yeah, that was just a random fan looking for autographs and whatnot. Well, maybe more Sarah's, but
I wish.
But no, it's just one of those things that does promote a lot of independency when it comes to women. You guys hit it right on the head. That it definitely shows that you can be a woman, you can make a difference in the world. I mean, look at all the names of the women, especially Susan B. Anthony, so many other people in history. That definitely made it. I go back to the movie, Hidden Figures, and finding out that three of the reasons why the space center is just such a success is because of these three women, because of their determination, because of their grit, because of their commitment to this. Again, it just definitely shows that hey, you don't have to be a guy to make a difference. You can be a woman, and you can definitely be yourself and just prove that you can do it. You can be a part of history. And that is one of the crucial keys as to why I really love Wonder Woman. Is why she's moved up so high up, because again, she she can be independent, she can be strong, and she can always do what she believes is the right thing. And she can always be a hero in the end. Because I do not see any movie where maybe she becomes like a supervillain or something like that. I could see that probably with Captain America, but that's a different conversation altogether.
I mean, I would like to see Cheetah come up in the sequel.
Oh, please, please.
Like-
And Circe. Oh, please.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say another thing.
All right.
Generally, because I know it's Wonder Woman, we're talking about women and men and gender relations, but one of the things that I just in general love about fantasy and movies and the nerd world and community is that there is so much inspiration for people here of all backgrounds. You know, there are people, the Power Ranger movie that just came out, it represented, you know, women and men, LGBT, Asian, Black, autism. It represented all kinds of things. Black Panther is coming out soon. There's all these different stories that are coming out that just have so much potential to inspire kids and so much, you know, potential to reignite us and our sense of agency and our sense of self-worth and our sense of, you know, finding what our purpose is and finding that we are capable of fulfilling that. And I think that overall, that is what should be taken out of these movies.
Yeah.
Except for Batman vs Superman. I'm sorry, I had to throw that out there. I'm sorry.
It was trash.
As soon as I saw Can't Be Trash, I won an Oscar. That nixed any conflict.
It was also trash.
The fact that it won an Oscar was really surprising. But you know, I will say this kind of, you know, this is probably getting to my closer to heart. Recently, we've had the, you know, glory and the splendor that was Guardians of the Galaxy. And of course, Michael Rooker.
Great movie.
One of those guys that's definitely one of those people that I can definitely see getting a supporting actor Academy Award nomination. People are saying that, and I definitely wholeheartedly agree with that. I think that, you know, he well deserves it. I want to go on a limb and just say that I think Gal Gadot, after this movie, definitely deserves an Oscar nomination.
Yes.
For this performance.
Best
Yes.
lead actress.
That was a big responsibility, and I do think she handled it really, really, really well.
And like I said, it's a big thing for me to ask for, and I know the Academy is always very nitpicky when it comes to their nominations, but please, Academy Award, make an exception with this, because, like I said, she was pregnant while doing this. She showed her commitment. She showed the determination to make this movie great. It came out great. There's very few negative reviews that we could say. I mean, we could talk and complain about like every single nitpicky detail, but in the end, we come out with something positive out of it. I mean, there's a lot of things, of course, like we said, but there's all the things we say, and it's like we still come out with something negative. We can nitpick every single little thing, whether it be the Amazon or sexism or everything else that we can come up with, but in the end, it's like Wonder Woman is still being honored, and her legacy is not tarnished by this movie. It's definitely being represented proudly, and that for that sole reason, that's why she deserves to be considered in this Academy and even nominated. If she doesn't win, that's fine. Just for her to be nominated, I would be totally okay with that.
I don't know if some big fancy guys in tuxes somewhere recognize how historical this is, but the fans do. We definitely do.
Yeah. Especially if you know how the Oscars work. A bunch of crusty old white guys that don't even watch movies anymore, vote based on what they hear is good. So if you want to win, hype it up, because that's how that wins. That's how Suicide Squad won. That's how a couple years ago, I can't remember the name of the movie, it won Best Picture, but people thought it was like the one of the not as good film in its category. Last year, La La Land, I thought was way more hyped up than it actually was. So it's all about that. But yeah, you know, whether it gets nominated for a bunch of awards, no awards, it's a winner in my book. And a lot of people's books as well.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
You guys want to give us sum up rating, best out of 10, or are you just going to go?
You know what, that is actually how I do it. I usually have these kind of movies where they either go from a star rating 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. I believe in ladies first, so Sarah.
Women first.
Women first.
Alright. Thanks, guys. As far as the writing goes, I have a little bit of some nitpicking things. I would have given it a 7, to be honest, for writing. As far as the impact it's going to make, it just blew me out of the water. I would have given it a 10.
Give it a 10 stars.
10.
10 out of 5 stars.
I was going to say we're going out of 5 stars. Do you want to do 10? We can do out of 10. I like
My rating works off of 10.
Okay.
I don't know how to count to 5. I gotta go past that, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. We'll make an exception.
My bad.
We'll make an exception for you because you are special.
Well, whenever I do reviews, I always go on a 10 because I feel I don't like the 1 to 5. It feels too simple.
If you want to do 10 too, then by all means, I'll do the 1 to 5.
All right, sounds good. So we going with Christian. I do agree with a lot of the Impact stuff. Story, yeah. Once again, a lot of nitpicks. So like I said, my biggest problems with it was filming side. Gal Gadot, really good. Needs some improvements, especially when she goes up with some of the more seasoned cast members. Some people that are B actors can hold up with some of this bigger name actors because they know how to step up their game. Where she is still on that learning curve, but that's here nor there at this point. My other big problem was that a lot of slow-mo, like maybe a little bit too much for me when it came to some of those action, because every time it was like slow-mo epics. I mean, I think they could have took a change out of the BVS Batman warehouse scene where it was just Batman flying across the room, because like if action is shot clear-cut, you don't need the slow-mo. Like, people will register what's going on, and I think they could have used more of that for just like doing the Batman thing where she's just jumping across the room, popping guys out the windows, smashing them with their sword and shield, just really kicking ass without needing the epic slow-mo of the gun busting across her stomach or whatever, But overall, it's a really good movie. I would say 8.5 for me. Just a couple of things here and there filmmaking-wise that didn't click, but overall, a very solid movie. I recommend full price for it. Just go see it. I want to go see it again tonight because after talking about it,
see it like 10 times before it leaves theater.
Yeah, so I'll definitely go see it tonight. It's definitely on par with like some of the other movies that come out like Logan, Alien. It's definitely up there that one of the better blockbusters of the summer.
Easily DC's best movie.
Yes, best DCU, their new cinematic universe, and definitely up there in the top 5 for overall.
I've done my best to try to ensure that like the higher ratings are for very special movies. I mean, definitely a few movies that I would definitely put high up there have been. Split was one of my favorites for this past year. It was absolutely
that was
amazing.
A very good movie.
James McAvoy was absolutely phenomenal. Guardians of the Galaxy is another one that really hits home. Beauty and the Beast was another one that just...
Get Out was really good.
It was really amazing. I definitely would give Wonder Woman a 5-star rating. I think it definitely is, despite all the little differences, there's always so many things that just compensate for it. If the acting was off, the action made up for it. The storytelling was kind of iffy. The script still found a way to make full sense. And even if there were some things that we wanted, there were still other things that compensated for it. Like obviously, we wanted more from either the beginning scene or from future other scenes, more explaining as to what certain things were all about. They still found a way to make it a really good movie. And in the end, you all come out with something important that's we're more powerful than we believe we really are. And if you keep holding yourself back, you're obviously better than what you think you are. I've had to learn that the hard way. That if I keep doubting myself, then it's just going to end up. I'm just going to end up hurting myself. So I always have to find a way to persevere. And soon find out that you're more worth it than what you really are. Yeah. Especially when you find out the people that you affect, they really do make the difference. I had so many people tell me, some people I don't even really know. They're just like, oh my gosh, you're just an amazing person. I just see so much what you do. I've had little kids when I was in acting come up to me and they just say, you do a really good job in acting. I'm really impressed with how you do. One called me Santa, but that's for another story. But the main thing is just, I think that one of them definitely provides is, all it takes is believing in yourself and just finding that inner strength to come out and defy the odds. And you're going to find a way to not only overcome them, but even do so many extraordinary things that you never thought you could imagine. So Wonder Woman does a great job. DC, you did it. You hit a home run.
Step in the right direction, man.
Yeah.
Definitely in the right
Definitely
direction.
step in the right direction.
Soul food for the soul.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, so I think we're just about done here. Final thoughts, guys. Obviously, we recommend Wonder Woman very highly.
Yes, I would.
Anything else that we would just want to tell DC before we sign off?
One last thing.
Oh,
Go backwards.
I want to say thank you so much. I know that this is not always an easy thing to approach when it's not necessarily your battle, but representing diversity and giving the future generations a real hero to look up to, who looks like them, who is like them, no matter who they are, is so important. And I am very, 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 very proud to be a fan.
Definitely take more risks. Not with just in terms of women, but like every race, culture, religion. Don't be afraid to break the boundaries, man. Because people love that. People want that in our generation, you know? People love those movies like Get Out and stuff like that, where it really just defines stereotypes and all that stuff. People want to see that. People want people to look up to, you know? They want to feel something. They just want to go see a big blockbuster of explosions and, you know, doing things that they shouldn't be doing, like over-sexualizing women or like doing all this different stuff, like Michael Bay and all that crap that he just does. People want to see stories that mean something, that tell a good tale and make you rethink of what you know.
So keep it up.
Yeah. Don't let, you know, we still got Justice League later
Push
this year.
forward.
Yeah.
Give us more.
Yeah, got Justice League later this year. Next year you got like Aquaman, Batman. All these movies coming up. You know, they just got to keep bringing up, breaking boundaries, doing different things.
Well, I guess my final thought is DC, keep up the good work. Your move, Marvel. So for Miss Sarah and Mr. Evan, I am Nate the Epic Great for the Elite Ringside Network. Again, guys, thank you so much for giving your insight. This has been
It was a glorious interview.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
It's been a lot of
It was
fun.
wonderful.
It was wonderful, and it's very empowering to women everywhere, I'm pretty sure. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, from OhanaCon, signing off. And don't forget to check out tomorrow because we will have another edition of Change the F Up with myself and Victory Bell. It's going to be a can't miss show. So tune in. See you tomorrow, guys. Hope you my best.